Over the past 2 or so years now, I have gotten really into a show called Kamen Rider. For those who don't know, Kamen Rider is a series of Japanese shows starring different actors to play these masked heroes per show. The original Kamen Rider 1, premiered back in 1971, and would continue his role until 1973, when the show would go from Kamen Rider to Kamen Rider V3. Kamen Rider 2 appeared midway through the first series, so. From there, more Kamen Riders would regularly appear until 1989. This era in Japan was known as the Showa era, so these riders were dubbed the Showa Riders. The show wouldn't see a revival until 2000 with Kamen Rider Kuga. The popularity was an instant success, and Kamen Rider was back. So once again, Kamen Riders have been popping out year after year, and because of one odd series that only got half a year, we've gotten 20 riders in the past 19 years. Now the current era in Japan known as the Heisei era is coming to a close, as is the tale of these Heisei riders. Now me being the fan I am, I have seen all of the Heisei Rider series, and because of that, I wanted my top 5 riders to be known in honor of their legacy. Now this list is based on a mix of 3 things. Overall series, like how I felt from the beginning of the show to the end of it, how the entire show made me feel, the personality of the man behind the mask, and the design of the riders themselves. So let's get into it. Number 5. Kamen Rider W, otherwise known as Kamen Rider Double. Taking place in the ever-windy city of Futo, 2 detectives, the half-boiled tough guy Shotaro Hidari and his partner Philip, a genius with no memories of his past, fight to keep their city protected from a hidden organization selling mysterious flash drive-like devices called Gaia Memories. Once used on a human, Gaia Memories will turn them into a monstrous creature called a dopant, and give them destructive powers. So using the power of their own memory drives and the double driver belt, Shotaro and Philip combine 2 minds with 1 body to become the 2-in-1 Kamen Rider W, also called Double, while given their famous line, "Now, count up your sins." Now what immediately caught my attention with this rider was his unique design. Most Kamen Riders you see will have some kind of shade of red as their main color, but W comes out with a sharp green on one end and black on the other, signifying the 2 halves of the riders becoming one. Now every Kamen Rider has their own set of unique abilities, and W's are especially cool. They have Luna, Trigger, Heat, Metal, and of course, Cyclone and Joker. Each of these are a cool combination that gives them different things to do. Watching the gripping tale of these 2 detectives solve mysteries in their town while slowly becoming the ultimate partners was amazing to watch through and through. You could really feel the connection between these 2, as just a standard partnership it really becomes a true and deep friendship, allowing them to truly harness the powers of W, as they slowly uncover Philip's past and make Shotaro the true hard-boiled detective he knows he can be. That's why these 2 halves make the perfect whole on my list. Number 4. Kamen Rider Blade. About 10,000 years ago, there was a massive battle between 52 creatures known as the Undead. Each of these creatures represented a different species on Earth and became known as the Battle Royale. The winning Undead would be given total dominion over the Earth for their species, and the losers would be sealed away until the next Battle Royale. The victor of the first one was the Human Undead, so humans were allowed to rule the land. Now fast forward to today, where 2 men, Kazuma Kenzaki and Sakuya Tachibana, are fighting a previously sealed undead and use the power of the Rider system developed by Board, an organization created to study and seal the undead. So Kenzaki transforms, and to fight these monsters becomes the Kamen Rider known as Blade. One night, Kenzaki gets an alert that Board HQ is under attack. The only culprit to be seen is his partner Tachibana, and he releases all the rest of the sealed undead stored at the base. Now it is up to Kenzaki not only to reseal the undeads, but also to discover the secret of Tachibana's betrayal, and why the undeads were released in the first place. This is the oldest series on this list, spanning back to about 2004. Even with that though, it aged beautifully. Around every corner is another twist. You think one thing's gonna happen and bam, they hit you with a new thing. The abilities Blade uses are from the sealed undead themselves, so any win for Blade is a major upgrade. Now at first, when I first saw this series, I thought Blade was the strangest looking Kamen Rider just because of his weird sword-like horn he had. Now the original Kamen Riders were shaped like bugs, which is just like how Blade and the other Kamen Riders in this series are shaped after. But still, something about them just didn't seem right to me at first, but after watching the series as a whole, I've grown to love Blade, and not to spoil anything, but that ending will leave you shocked and wanting more. For anyone out there who has seen the ending to Blade but not seen Zio, don't worry, they wrap up some things that are key, so we'll make sure you watch Zio as it's going on right now. Kenzaki may seem just like a guy who's doing this for the money, but trust me, he has earned his spot on number 4 in my list. Number 3. Kamen Rider Build. 10 years ago, on an alternate Earth, an expedition crew to Mars brought back a strange device that would be named the Pandora's Box. On the day of the national conference for said expedition, the box was activated, and the country of Japan was split into 3 parts. These 3 parts would become known as Seito, Hokuto, and Toto, each separated by a mysterious phenomenon known as the Sky Wall, and all 3 having their own fragments of the Pandora box. One day, in the region of Toto, a genius physicist named Sento Kiryu is hired by the Institute of Toto to study the box and discover its secrets. Unbeknownst to the people, Sento has no memories of his past, and with the support of the cafe owner who first found him and his daughter, he uses the Bill driver to become Kamen Rider Bill, a hero protecting Toto from violent monsters known as Smashes. One day, an escaped murder convict known as Ryuga Banjo was attacked by a Smash. So when Sento rescues him, he tries to hand it back over to the Toto military. That's where Banjo reveals that he was framed for the murder and was being sent to a facility similar to the one thing Sento can remember, a torturous scene of him being ejected into a small glass box. So going against the Toto military and making Kamen Rider Build an outlaw, Sento rescues Banjo and has him stay at the cafe that he is also staying at, so the 2 can clear Banjo's name and hopefully in the process reveal some clues towards Sento's past. Now this series' defining feature is smart. The characters are lovable, you always want to cheer them on, and the design of Build himself with the rabbit and tank style, well, you know me, gotta love my tanks. As cocky as he may seem, Sento can back up his words, especially with his other power-ups. You see, to transform into Kamen Rider Build, Sento uses these 2 bottles, the rabbit bottle and the tank bottle, and every other power-up he can use are another type of animal and inorganic thing that can destroy that animal, i.e. the very next thing he uses, the gorilla and the diamond power-up. This is the second latest one to come out, so the quality in it is very high, but just like all the others, it is full of twists and turns that you will not be expecting. So I highly recommend Kamen Rider Build to anyone who is trying to start off watching Kamen Rider. Trust me, it is very worth it. Number 2. Kamen Rider X8. A new deadly strain of virus has been discovered. This virus, dubbed the Bugster virus, will cause patients to become terribly ill, and then cause a video game-like monster to be created from them. If the creature is not destroyed within too long, and the patient becomes overly stressed, the patient will disappear and the monster will live on, having gained their life as their own. We then meet Hojo Emu, an intern pediatrician with a love of video games, as he is showing his skills to the sick children. Although very clumsy, he has a real passion for wanting to see his patients smile and continue on with their life. One day, one of his more stubborn patients runs away from his treatments so he can go to a video game tournament. Emu finds him only to discover that he has contracted the Bugster virus and the disease has already started to manifest the monster. Following him is a nurse named Poppy People Popo, who has been searching for the genius gamer known as M. She is carrying the game driver, which will allow anyone that has received treatment to use it and has the skill to become a Kamen Rider. Emu grabs the driver from her as she warns him not to use it, but he smiles and explains that if this is just like a video game, he will not be beaten, as he is the genius gamer known as M, and uses his gaming skills to transform into Kamen Rider X8 to fight the Bugster within his patient. Now this one is a very high and obvious one on my list. One, because it was the first Kamen Rider I had ever actually watched. Although X8 is a very flashy Kamen Rider, he is still a very powerful warrior in his own rights. And you know me, I love my video games, and this one is chock full of references. Heck, one of the movies even stars Pac-Man. But don't be fooled by the bright colors and the smiling faces. This series contains some real dark moments, making it even more deceptively sweet. Just like with Kamen Rider Build, I'd recommend this Kamen Rider to be anyone else's first Kamen Rider just like it was my own. And number 1, Kamen Rider 4s. Amanogawa High School is your seemingly average school, but new transfer student Gentaro Kisaragi is not your average high schooler. Although dressed like that of a delinquent, Gentaro is extremely kind and has his heart set on the goal of befriending everyone in his new school. Once arriving, he finds a friend he met in a previous grade, a space nerd named Yuki Jojima, and she introduces Gentaro to her friend, the loner Kengo Utahoshi, who doesn't seem to like or trust anyone other than Yuki. Gentaro quickly makes it his mission to make Kengo his first friend here and decides to follow him around to get to know him. That is when they come across a being known as a Zodiart, which are actually students that have been given these Zodiart switches to turn them into monsters, giving them a power so they can achieve that of whatever they desire. It turns out, Yuki and Kenko have been defending the school from these Zodiarts using devices they discovered for quite a while now, but because of Kengo's frail body, they can't use their trump card, the Forged Driver. When this new and incredibly strong Zodiart appears, Kengo decides to put his body in risk and use the belt, but Gentaro stops him. Kengo agrees into letting Gentaro be the muscle while he acts as the brain. Guiding Gentaro to using these strange astro switches, Gentaro flicks all 4 of the buttons and becomes Kamen Rider Force, while also using a variety of other astro switches, giving him new weapons for use. After gaining somewhat of a friendship with Kengo, the two decide to show Gentaro their hidden portal to their base on the moon. And after being told the legend of masked heroes named Kamen Rider, Gentaro decides to form the Kamen Rider Club and goes off to make more friends to join him in his new club. Now, being number 1 on my list, that means this is obviously by far my favorite series. And it is down to just everything. The overall story of finding out why these Zodiacs are attacking the school, while also discovering who is controlling who behind the scenes. And with his brightened smile and his upbeat attitude, I can't just help but love everything that Gentaro does. And his design is by far my favorite. His belt is amazing. I made sure to get that one immediately in real life. That is why Kamen Rider Force just skyrockets into the top of my list. Well, that's it. That's my top 5 list of the Heisei era riders. What did you think down below? Did this maybe pique your curiosity and make you want to start watching Kamen Rider? Or maybe you already have seen Kamen Rider and you have your own opinions of your own top 5. I'd love to hear them down below. And for those of you that know Kamen Rider, you know that after the first series in the Heisei era, there was actually at least 2 riders per series. So, if you want to see me do my top 5 secondary riders, let me know. I'd be glad to do so. Thanks for watching. I'm going to try and hit you with these new Wednesday videos, trying my best. This new format, who knows? If you liked it, let me know. And I'll see you next time.